So most people think that once you riffle shuffle the cards, the top of the deck is completely lost. If you're just starting out in card magic like I am, you might believe that riffle shuffle is all about randomness, that there's no way to keep control of the deck. But here's the magician's truth. With the right handling, you could riffle shuffle and still keep control of the top stock of cards. And why does this matter? Because controlling that top stock lets you protect for setups, force selections, transitions between tricks without losing the order of the cards. And it's one of the most practical sleights that you can learn. Here's the plan for today. I'm going to show you how to do the move in a performance, and then we're going to break it down step by step. We're going to answer common beginning questions, and then finally we're going to give you a practice routine with pro tips to make this sleight look really invisible. So let me show you how this is done here. We have ace through 8 of spades, and what's our top cards here? We have jack and 8 diamonds, doesn't matter. Okay, so we have 8 cards on top here, and what we're going to do is we're going to put that on the top of the deck, so that way it's in here. You can see that there's nothing in between here. Okay, and we're going to do our riffle shuffle. Give her another shuffle. So you might think there's no way possible that we controlled that top 8 cards and kept them in the same order as what they were. Okay, so you look at that, our first 8 cards are the ace through 8 of spades again, and they're still in the same order. So let's break this down here for you. By the way, if you want to take your practice to the next level, I put together a card magic practice journal. It's a simple system that helps you track sleights, tricks, breakthroughs, and even audience reactions, so you can see your progress and stay consistent. I use it myself every day, and it's made a huge difference. You can grab your copy in the link in the description. Now let's get back to it. Okay, we're going to begin with those 8 cards at the top of the deck here. And we're going to split the deck in half, just like we did with that last video learning how to do the riffle shuffle. So remember, the ace through 8s are on top of this deck here, my right-handed side. We're going to go to that V position again, and we're going to start the ruffle. And remember that it's best to do this with 8 or fewer cards. Anything more than that is going to be hard, and it's going to be very telling, and it's going to be kind of suspicious to that viewer. But all we're going to do is we're going to start our shuffle again. And it does not matter what side drops first at this point, but what matters is that we leave those last grouping of cards to fall last on there, and we're going to immediately go into our squared up so that we don't see that clumping of cards. And from here you can talk or do whatever. The next time through, because we're going to do this 2 shuffles here, we're going to bring that top stock to the left. So the first time we brought it to the right, this time we're going to bring it to the left. And again, we're going to do the same shuffle. Okay, making sure that at least 8 cards falls last on that left side. We're going to come in and we're going to square the deck up right away. So if you look at these top cards here, it's going to still be that ace through 8. You might ask, won't people notice that one side dropping later than the other? And the answer is going to be no, because the sound and the motion hides that timing. This is also why you should repeat the shuffle twice, once to the right, once to the left, so it makes it harder for people to follow or track the card. Again, a pro tip that we kind of mentioned in the last video is to look at the audience when we are splitting the cards. Look down when you're actually shuffling the cards. Okay? Look back up when you're squaring the deck, and we're going to split the cards the opposite way. Now I can look back down again and shuffle it off. Okay, look back up, square the deck, and keep on talking through, whatever your routine is. So we did 1 to the right, 1 to the left, and that's going to allow us to keep all those cards in order, the top 8 cards. So every time you go through and you do your riffle shuffle, okay, you come in, you square it up, do a false cut, and we're going to learn these along the way here, so we'll add that into the riffle shuffle as we go further along here. But again, we've protected that top stock during that shuffle there. And after you get done doing each riffle shuffle, make sure that you come in and you actually do protect that, or do a false cut to make it look more random and more fair to the audience. You know, and if that's top stock shifts during squaring, just stay calm, you know, completely casually square the deck, and then with practice, what's going to happen is that stock will stay aligned, you know. So if you're coming in and you're pushing them together, you know, and they get all out of line, don't worry, just relax here. Bring it back together. It'll all square up nicely, and that way you can get set back up again to do your control. Okay. And the deck still is in order. Oh, we're missing a 5. 5 disappeared somewhere. So anyhow, so what you're gonna do for practice routine is you're gonna set up the deck anywhere between 1 to 3, 1 to 5 cards, 1 to 8 cards, or whatever on top. We'll do 1 to 4 here. And you're gonna slowly riffle shuffle the deck at least 10 different times. Okay, so 1, oops, and we're going to push it together and square it, okay, and then check to see that your 1 through 4 is on top. Okay, that was to the right, so now we're going to go to the left, and again making sure that, remember, the top cards that we're protecting is on the left that time. Now come in, square up, verify that your cards are on top. They are. And just go to the right now again, and we're just going to go back and forth, so those are on the right now. Come in and square, and as you do this, it's going to get a little bit faster. Now they're on the left. Okay, and that one was not perfect, but we still retain the cards that we're looking to retain on top. Again, that time the deck was a little bit smaller, so we're just going to make sure that it peels off on a different pace. Okay, and if we threw some false cuts in there, that would also make it look different and more random. But here we still got the 1 through 3 on top. Is what we're looking for. 1 through 3, 1 through 4 was on top. So the Riffle Shuffle Top Stock Control helps let you shuffle naturally while secretly protecting those cards that you need on top of the deck. And if you combine this with repetition, eye contact, maybe a false cut once we learn those a little bit later in the series, this move has become completely invisible. In fact, our next couple of videos, we're going to go through a series of different card tricks, putting together all the skills that we've learned thus far in the journey. And to learn what those skills are, click on that link to the right here, and that'll bring you to the playlist that shows you from start to finish where we're at right now, every step that we've taken. Hey, my name is Joe. This is my card magic journey. Let's make it yours too.